Everybody likes the cooking cream, right? I like milk and cookies. It's like that Cookie Monster, right? Mm. You don't have to chew and drink. You can just dip it too. You don't always have to jump in. You can just take a little dip. Dip here, dab there. Mm. 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 It's good stuff. Milk, does your body good. Mm. Let's talk about that spiritual milk. You can get this. It's the Constitution of the United States and the Declaration of Independence. I want you to notice that there's 3 arrows. Not one, not two, but 3 arrows, right? Like the Trinity. And look at these leaves. Pretty, isn't it? It's a great design. Now, we're in design time, right? We're supposed to be like a new beginning. I want to tell you about the parable of tenants. I preached about that a lot, right? The secular and the non-secular. See, the non-secular, that's the parable of the tenants, right? Well, it's the same thing in the Constitution. Did you guys know that? Mm-hmm. Let me give you an education today. Free of charge. Let's start with the Constitution of the United States. Now, wasn't a Christian nation, wasn't a Muslim nation. Religious freedom. Mm. So let's talk about that Constitution, y'all. See that? Let God work through you. God's always right. Hey, see rule number 2, it's on the front. God's always right. So here we go. Do for that right here. I've been taking this to court so long, I just keep losing, right? So I'm going to give you definitive proof. The keeper of the books, right? It means you can look at all the books and you kind of know what it means. Not everybody can do that. It'll drive you crazy. I don't advise it, but I'll give you a hand. Oh, a little chocolate from that chocolate cookie. Even the leftovers are good, right? Leftovers. Okay, so anyways. Now I'm not going to bore you with the beginning of the book. I mean, that's more like numerology and stuff. A lot of people try to do that math and pretend they know how to do it, but they don't. So don't pay attention to those guys. All right. Chronology, Declaration of Independence, Constitution of the United States. See, all these guys got together and they knew that more than one head is better than one. 2 heads better than one, 3 heads better than one, 4 is better than one, 5 is better than one, millions and billions are better than one. Like all those algorithms and wavelengths. This is basic science, guys. Like real science. September 5th to October 26th, 1774, First Continental Congress, Carpenter's Hall. What? Carpenter's Hall. Jesus was a carpenter family, right? Same Carpenter's Hall, right? Look at the resemblance there. And to coordinate American resistance to British colonial policy. British colonial policy. So, like some of that stuff that's going on in America now, we're like, what is this? Didn't we go to war over this already? So now, instead of guns, got to use your brain, right? So they don't want you to have this education, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. Free of charge. No college tuition required. See that? All right. Try to put some plastic on it. Keep it from getting dirty from all those false words out there. Now, watch out for them Pharisees now. So, the Declaration of Independence, divine providence. Today, yeah, I like that better. Okay. Divine providence, right? Divine, divide thine, right? Divide thine, the divine. See how that all goes together? Divide thine, the divine. Okay? Dividing the word of God properly. See? Divide. See how that works? Here, let me space it out some for you. We left the sock behind. Now we're using tissues. Okay? In case you want to cry a little bit. It's okay. You can do that. So, okay, ready? Gonna give you this word math again. Now you saw what I just did? Now, let me see how it all goes together. Divide thine, right? So, divide thine. Okay? So you want to divide the word of God properly so that we can have a proper environment and a great society. Make America great again, right? You know, it's like that super gun, it's got the fucking oop, did I say that? My bad. It's like that super gun. It's like that Uzi or that machine gun, you got to put a little mag in it so you got some more spiritual bullets. Just throw them things at the devil. You know what I'm saying? So divide thine, okay? Okay. Divide thine, okay? The divine. So we're going to divide it right now, okay? We're going to go to the core of the issue, and we're going to call it divine, okay? See how that works? So now we're going to bring those words back together so everybody knows what that means, okay? Divine, okay? Providence, okay? Now, to provide, okay? To provide, see that? See that word there? Providence, okay? To provide a fence, okay? And the common defense, okay? Now, if you know the truth, remember that thing I was telling you about the deists, okay? Okay? Well, the deists take the is off everything. The D takes the ending off, okay? So if you want to take that fence down, you got to know about the divine providence. That's evidence of the truth, right? To provide the common fence, providence. See that? See how that goes together? We'll try that again. Okay, for the common defense, see the D takes the fence off. Deist, right? So let me help you out with that. to provide, okay, a fence. See how we put that fence on the end? Divine providence, you know? It's like a fence to keep all the animosity, hate, and all those bad things out and all the good things in, right? Promised land. America. So, all right. So let's get to that parable of tenants. Now, we learned before that judgment meant to govern, right? Judgment meant government. Okay? Now, in the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not judge. See that? Thou shalt not judge. Thou shalt not govern. Okay? Thou shalt not govern, right? Because in free America, the promised land, okay, it's we the people, okay, everybody. To what? Now, we got these workers' rights unions and stuff like that, labor unions, right? Well, we the people are the more perfect union. It's one union for all. See? So, it's not working for all. Let's talk about that parable of the tenants. Everybody's kind of curious about that. Divine providence. Here's just some divine providence. I'm making this video to go along with this article I'm about to post on my website. And that'll be coming out about 11 o'clock tonight. Y'all guys will love that. It's pretty cool. So, anyways, let's go with that 1776. See, the original lettering in the Constitution Declaration of Independence, you see how important it is now? I mean, because they were deists. They knew a lot about words and writing and stuff and how to put everything together. They sat in that room and they put straw down on the roads as the wagons rode over, so it would make a lot of noises, because they were a bunch of guys like me. They had some serious ADHD problems, man. It's hard for them to focus. So sometimes they just needed real quiet places to think. So they had everybody put down straw and stuff out in the roads. The wagons went real slow through town. I don't know if you guys knew that, but and they sat in that room and they drafted the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. They did all this stuff, and they really thought about the words that they used and how they used them because of how they all went together. See? Linguistics. See how that works? So anyways, it's like the super code cracker. Be a super sleuther with me. It's fun. So anyways, in Congress, July 4, 1776, declaration by the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled. So, what's it say? When in the course of human events. Well, let's explain that one. When in the course of human events. Human events. Course. Okay. Now, when you go to college, you take a class, you take a course. Okay. Now, when you're sailing out on the boat in the ocean, you try to keep your heading straight and you've got to keep it on course. Okay. Now, when you're sewing a piece of fabric together, like the fabric of space and time, your mind and everything else, you want to use that course thread. You know what I'm saying? Or when you sit at a table and you want to eat a perfect meal, you want to have that 5-star meal. You start with the main course, okay? After the appetizer. This is sort of like heading towards the main course now. Okay, so when you want to get that really good food, okay, in a course of events, in a course of these events, you want to keep it straight in your head. So you want to make sure that you know that it's right. And some people would answer, of course. Okay, and you want to make sure that when you're on all these courses, that you want to make sure that you don't get coerced into believing, something that's not true. So you want to keep your mind straight and you want to keep focused. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that all these courses, all right, get debated in here before they enter here. Because this, okay, is a product of this in the end result. Okay. So when you get to the end of the course, okay, that's what's at the end of the course. Okay. All right. And we want to make sure that that doesn't end up like this. And we also want to make sure it doesn't end up like this. Okay. So in the course of human events, okay, we've got something that's called y'all gonna love this one. In the course of the human events, we've got something called his story. History. His story. History. You understand? Now, it's a story. It's as old as time. But every time it comes around, it just like gets a new piece, for a better future. So if we look at his story, okay, then we can understand the past for the future and the present, okay? And that's like a crossbow. We're going to just put an arrow on that thing, okay? Right? Gotta have your little handle, its trigger. This one doesn't require any mags, okay? But it came outdated, so now we got rid of the crossbow, okay? And we got that, okay? So in the course of human events in history, all these things have been recorded. Now, if you have the ability to look back on all those histories and all those stories, that's what we like to call algorithms, okay? Like out there on the ocean, okay? Okay. Now the ocean has got them little humps. You ever been out in the ocean? It's not quite a wave, it's just like a swell. Okay. And then sometimes you get a storm and it can be rough. Okay. And you get waves. Okay. Instead of algorithms. Okay. And they can look pretty messy out there. But if you look real close, you start seeing patterns. Okay. Now, where you can see a pattern, well, there you find something you can make sense of. But it's hard to find a pattern in all this mess. Okay. So the best way is just to stay centered. Okay. Got to stay centered. Okay. There's a little eyeball in the center, right? Right. So in the course of human events, out of all these mistakes, why would you want to repeat them? Oh, that's easy. Because you didn't know your history. Okay. The course of human events. Okay. That means that in the course of everything that everybody else has already done wrong before me, I want to have the wisdom not to do that again. Right. So that starts with education. Not just secular education, not orthodox, not unorthodox, but a mixture of both so that everybody understands everybody. So, not to stifle progress, but to encourage it. Okay. Now, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another. Okay? Dissolve the political bands that have connected them with another. When the course in human events, okay, it's only human nature to make a mistake, right? Okay? To dissolve the political bands that have connected them with another. Okay? Okay? Now, okay. Whatever, it's an eyeball. Okay. So, in Egypt, all this craziness. Rocket launch, right? He just took all that wisdom. It's good, there's evil, just stayed right down the center. Went to America where it was in God we trust, right? Who's the we? In God we trust. Well, let me tell you who the we is. In God, in God we trust. We, the people, the real people. Why? Why are they real people? Because real people don't hate. They don't deceive. Okay? They're not greedy. Okay? That's real people. Everybody likes to make this real complex so they can confuse a lot of people out there. It's really simple. Feel that cloud of haze coming off the brain. Should be right about now. But anyways, political bands which have connected them to another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. Okay. Nature. Natural. Nature is the natural state. Okay. Nature's God. Okay. God's all knowing. That's wisdom. Okay. Now, nature. If nature made you a man, you're a man. If nature made you a woman, you're a woman. Okay. Plain and simple. Now, whatever you want to pretend to be whatever you want to be. It's a free country. Okay. But when it comes to law, laws of nature and of nature's God, in America, that's the way we like to do things. And if that's not okay with you, then maybe you should live somewhere else. I don't know where, but don't come crying to us and hollering at us to do things that are unnatural, right? Because that's not the law. You can't change the law because when you do, everything goes bonkers, right? So, man, woman, you want to get married in a church? All right. You can't force a priest or a minister to marry a man and a man or a woman and a woman because laws of nature, okay, don't agree with it. A woman can't reproduce with a woman, and a man can't reproduce with a man. It takes two to make a thing go right. Okay. So, laws of nature, what's natural? Okay. Now, nature's God, what God says. Now, if you want to do anything else, okay, freedom of religion. Bind yourself to whatever you want to bind yourself to. But don't come into the churches that are churches of God telling them to do all this unnatural stuff. It's just not right. Not by nature and not by nature's God. There's no other argument. End of story. Okay? Enough of this bickering. Let's continue on. Separate and equal station. God took Eve from Adam. Seed. Okay? That's the beginning. Now, okay, Adam to Eve. Now, womb of man. Now, y'all might have remembered me saying something about Ish and Ashah, right? Womb of man. So from man came the seed for Eve, and from Eve came man again. Okay? Now, could I get another Eve without a man? No, I couldn't. So, unnatural. Just can't happen. It's impossible, right? Some of y'all need to put your phones down and computers down and get out the chalkboard. I mean, this is better technology right here. I mean, if you try this dry erase marker, it's great. So, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Okay? And say that you're born into sin. That's your natural state, nature. Okay? Church, nature's God, right? Natural will be in between, don't go left, don't go right, just straight up to God. You know what I'm saying? These things are to help guide you on your way. Now, if you're unnatural or you're not godly and you don't know where you fit in, well, it's because you lost out here on the ocean somewhere and your ship just ain't come in yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you a boat to make America greater. I don't want to make America great. I want to make America greater. Okay? Because one thing to have great expectations, and it's one thing to inspire a change, a real change. Okay? Now, we hold these truths to be self-evident. Self-evident, isn't it? That all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Unalienable rights. Okay? If you're alienating the truth, that's just downright un-American. Okay, that they're endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Slavery is not happiness. Everybody deserves a fair shot. You don't give them a fair shot. Well, that's downright un-American. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. The consent of the governed. So if you dumb down the governed, well, you're inadvertently getting their consent. That's just downright un-American. Now, The parable of the tenants is about changing out the guards, right? And the watch. Now, that doesn't always mean the people. Sometimes it means their train of thought. But if their train of thought can't get right, well, it's time to change out the guards. You know what I mean? Brain power. Your mind is the most powerful weapon on the face of the earth. So, pick up that mag and load it up, right? Make America greater. Starts right here. Then it ends up in here. That's how to be an American. Now, it says that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, driving their just powers from the consent of the government, that whenever any form of government, not one form, not two form, not three, any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such forms as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed. Okay? Prudence prudence, indeed. Okay? Right? Yeah. Okay, so prudence indeed. Hush, dog. Will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience has shewn that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. Okay? All experience has shewn that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same objective, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present king of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. Starts in there, guys. See, people today, if they get greedy, well, your neighbor becomes greedy too, and his neighbor and their neighbor. And then when you fall, those locusts will come eat you up. See? Glad I was never a greedy person. How about you? So, he has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He's forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And who so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people will relinquish the right of the representation of the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. Okay? So we got these people making millions and millions of dollars. I mean, Y'all ever heard of public speakers? That their positivity to lift you up and help you feel positive about yourself. I mean, they make a lot of money, right? Well, our senators and congressmen make a lot more than that. And as a matter of fact, they make that even if they're in office or not for the rest of their lives. So when they're still in office and they're making back behind the scenes deals, well, that's why this stuff's all messed up. And that's what you got to remember to do. Right? So he has refused to send the laws. Okay, so anyways, he has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. We've got courthouses now that are no longer public courthouses. I mean, you go in there and it's not a public hearing and you're just behind a closed door somewhere. Does it sound familiar? Sounds familiar to me. So, Drain Swamp. Correct action. Okay, you got a car. Okay, it's been out of control. It needs traction. Okay, so you need some traction. Correct action is the oath. Now, a lot of people like to pretend that oath doesn't mean anything. But I remember the oath. Do you? Defend. Who cares? Anyway, so defend the Constitution from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic. Now, we all know what domestic beers is, right? The ones we make at home. Not somewhere else. So, parable to tenants. That's parable to tenants. See, Thomas Paine, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. It's all about the heart, right? Can you see that heart? We have it in our power to begin the world over again. A situation similar to the present hath not happened since the days of Noah until now. The birthday of a new world is at hand. Thomas Paine, February 14th, Valentine's Day, 1776. Constitution of the United States. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain. Okay? Doesn't say establish. It says ordain. Right? Deist, right? D, establish, hate, ordain. Okay? It says do ordain and establish. Okay? The ordained to establish church, state. The Constitution for the United States of America. One nation. Under God. Article 1, Section 1. All legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. If that house ain't representing the people, it's not our house. Just saying. Time to start working together, guys. Peace.